Hello, hello. Testing 1, 2, 3. I think we're good, we're live. All right, let's go get a ride in. Oh, let me turn this feedback audio off. Too good to be true to get green lights, huh? This one is, yeah. Normally I'm riding my bicycle on this road. Probably will see a lot of cyclists riding up this road. I don't know, it's still kind of early. Kind of early. Sun is bright today. Even with the tinted visor down on the helmet, I can just seem so intense. Right now it is nice and cool. I definitely got out early because I got about a 2-hour window before the heat really turns on. So we're not going to be out too long today. Just want to get a quick cruise around the city. Here we go. Here's an innocent bicyclist right now. Oh, I know. No joke, right? I'll admit to you right now, I am not wearing too much protection other than a helmet. I have been looking at some undergarment protective clothing that'll actually fit under like regular shirts and stuff. That stuff is expensive. I reached out to Klim, K-L-I-M, to see if they want to sponsor a live stream and send me some protective undergarments. And Bon, B-O-H-N, Bon. Let's see if they reply to my email. If not, I'm gonna invest in some anyways, you know. It just, right now, it has just been so hot. All right, what are these people doing? Okay, they're running and turning around. But I'm going to take a little different route today. Just kind of wanted to go through this neighborhood up here. What the heck was that? I used to do this on my bicycle all the time. It's kind of a good training route. Yeah, it's a bit scary. Oh, what got hit over here? Oh, dear, bummer. Damn. Hate to see that. Go ahead, bud. Go ahead. All right, everybody, so this is a route that I used to like to take when I was training a lot, you know, getting ready for bicycle races or whatever. It's kind of a nice steady climb, and then you go through this neighborhood, and so you get all these little intervals of climb. So it's like you climb, you get a rest, you climb, you get a rest, you climb, you get a rest. But I thought it'd be interesting to just go through it on my motorcycle. It's a nice neighborhood too. There's a lot of multi-million-dollar homes up here. Look, you can see the sun shining off the cables of our tram. He was about to go, wasn't he? Yeah, he was. I highly recommend quad lock with the vibration mount. Yeah, I think I don't know if it's a widely known thing, but the vibrations from a motorcycle are not good for your cameras on your phones, especially iPhone. But you definitely want that vibration isolator. I'm talking about it, and I don't even have it on this bike. I have them on my BMW. I need to order some more, but the only reason why I haven't really bothered putting them on this bike is because I'm actually trying to sell this bike. It's been up for sale for a few months. I already told my wife, like, I guess I'm keeping it because nobody's buying it. So alright, so this is where you get like a little rest and you start climbing again. Yeah, on the BMW, I moved all the vibration mounts over to the BMW. And these ones here, all these phone mounts, I just stole off of my bicycles just so that I can live stream still, but I need to get some vibration mounts on them if I'm going to end up keeping this bike. Right now, at this point, it seems like I'm going to keep this bike. We got a little left-hander right here. These are what we call the roller coaster hills here. These are always fun to do on a bicycle. Seems equally as fun on a motorcycle. And you got this nice little sharp turn here. Didn't want to take that too fast because you never know if a car is coming around that turn. And we got another turn here. Is it just me, or it feels like it's getting hot already? I just feel the sun like hitting my pant leg already. Well, right now it's cool. Quite honestly, it's been so hot lately. We're just like all moping around the house, trying to find cool spots to chill out. What is that? What is that in Fahrenheit? I'm not good with your old Celsius. Normally I have the temperature on my screen, but I turned all the overlays off yesterday. I can turn them back on. Should I turn the overlays on, the map, and temperature, speed, location, all that? I thought I would go with a clean stream today instead of having the overlay on. Or you can do the exclamation weather. It'll show the temperature where I'm at right now. $91, okay. Oof. Yeah. That is pretty hot. Yeah, we're actually having a very cool morning. In fact, there were actually hot air balloons out this morning, but I think we're going to get upwards of 100 again. Let's see here. Try that exclamation. Is that a coyote or somebody's dog? Oh, that's somebody's dog. Coyote's not that clean looking. It used to be one of my favorite roads to ride on my bicycle. It's kind of like wind all through here. You could do multiple laps and get some really good climbing on your legs, like that burst climbing. Looks like I just got to follow. Belgium, huh? What kind of bike are you riding? What kind of moto are you riding out there? Let's see what we got here. Can't see around that turn. There we go. I think we're clear. Sun is intense. I'm having a hard time looking even with the tinted visor down. Come on, it's self-park. You don't have to stop here anymore. Not cool. Everybody's getting ready for their hikes for the day. Stop right here for just a quick little break. Just stretch my legs out just a little bit. Yeah, like I said, we probably won't be out too long today. It's definitely going to get warm today, so don't want to be out too long. So we're probably gonna go south right along the foothills. And what I want to do is I want to see the new Route 66 Central Avenue sign that they put up, that the city has gone through a lot of trouble of putting up. So they have one way out on the west side of the city of Albuquerque on Central Avenue, Route 66. That one's been there a while, but they've never had one over here on the east side of Central as you're coming into Albuquerque. And so that sign is finished, so I would love to ride by it and try to catch it on video. So that's our plan today, is to go catch that. Mr. John McCarthy's texting me. All right. Oh. By the way, everybody, here's the bike we're on today, in case you're curious. We're on the KTM Duke 790. I don't know how many times I've ridden this, and I've stopped and showed everybody and said, hey, this bike is up for sale. It's been for sale for a while, and I think I got it priced pretty competitively, but there have been 0 bites on it. I bought the BMW thinking that I was going to sell this, to help pay for that, and ended up being nobody's really looking at this one here. So, so I told my wife I might be stuck with this bike here. So it's a Duke 2020 Duke 790, KTM Duke 790. It's got the handguards, Corbin seat. As you can see, it's got the racks here. So it's got, these are KTM side bags go on here. It also has a windshield. I took the windshield off just because I kind of like this naked bike look, because it is a sport bike. The insurance is actually higher on this bike than my K1600 BMW, because it's a sport tour bike. So even though the BMW is like probably more than 3 times the horsepower of this bike, well, maybe not 3 times. I think, isn't this here like 105 horsepower or something like that? The BMW is, I believe, like 160, 180. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I forgot y'all are on my helmet, not on my chest. Yeah, this one's got right around 9. Right around 9,000, and I have it listed for 55 USD. I'll even be willing to take 5 for it. But there has been the only bite that I had on it was clearly a scammer. That was the only bite I had on it. I even paid like extra on my advertisement so that I could have a video, and I think my ad may have expired already by now. I paid a premium for it so that it has like front page, push to the top and add, everything like that, and it has been 0 bites. I don't know why. I don't think my bike is overpriced. I even put it in a price I think that if somebody wanted to negotiate, that I would still come out, in a ballpark that I wouldn't mind selling it at. Quite honestly though, I will say that there are times where I do enjoy riding this over the BMW. The BMW is really nice for those like nice long rides where you just want to ride in luxury and comfort. This bike is not so as comfortable, but it is super light, it's quick, it's nimble, it's easy to maneuver, it's easy to get around. Too new for 2020? Who's this? Maybe I should put it down for 5 or 45, I don't know. Like I said, I don't absolutely have to sell it, but I don't really need to start collecting motorcycles like I do bicycles. As it is, when it comes to bicycles, I have 7 bicycles. Although it is kind of nice to have that variety ride, This bike rides definitely much different than a BMW. So what I'm going to do, I'm debating how this is going to be the best way to catch that sign. I think what I'm going to do is go left, like I'm going into the canyon, turn around and then come back towards Central Avenue so I can catch that sign. I could probably turn right and go right into it, but I would like to catch it going straight on versus coming out of a turn and catching it. So, and then what I need to do is come back and do it at night, catch the sign while it's all lit up. And it's like, let me get beyond this car here. I don't like when I got cars on my right side, right or my left. Yeah, this one is actually, this road here, if you maintain a good speed, you can usually get all green lights through here. Even on a bicycle, sometimes you get them all. This road is actually set up in such a way that the pace is set up so that you can get green lights. Yeah, I don't want to be on the side of this truck, and I don't want to be behind it because, man, I just can't stand the smell of diesel exhaust anymore. Seems like I don't know, after 2013, let me think about that for a sec. Is it 03 or 07? No, probably 2013. I think that was the year the emissions changed out here, where supplemental catalyst reduction was required on diesel trucks. And that is when the smell has drastically changed, and it's just got such a sour smell to it with that diesel exhaust fluid. So 2003 is when they started requiring EGR on diesel engines, and 2007 was when they started requiring the DPF. I think it was 2013. It could have been earlier. It could have been like 12 or something. I can't remember the emission year, but yeah, that's when they required the SCR. It just like, oh. And now the diesel exhaust gives me a headache. Where before I worked around diesel engines so long, I could tell you by the smell of the exhaust, like, first of all, what type of engine it was, because believe it or not, Cummins exhaust versus Detroit diesel exhaust smells different versus Caterpillar exhaust. There's a distinct difference. And not only that, by the smell of the exhaust, you can tell, like, whether it's got a problem, you know, whether, well, you can also tell by color too, right? Whether it's not got enough air from lack of turbocharge, or it's too white, you know, it's got too much fuel going in. If it's, you know, blue or gray, it's got coolant going in it. But you can also smell, that as well. You can also smell whether, you know, you got lack of air in your diesel engine by the exhaust. That darker, blacker, sooty exhaust smells much different than the white, which is usually enriched with fuel. Don't trust this guy right here. He's gonna jump in front of me. Driving like a madman. Missouri. Why does guy also slow down? Oh, the bicycle riders. KTM Duke 790, yes. All right, so just up here is where I'm going to turn left. Oops, sorry. I'm going to turn left, turn around, and then I'm going to come back the other direction. And the whole point is I want to catch the new Route 66, the Central Avenue Welcome to Albuquerque Route 66 sign that the city put up. Supermoto, I wouldn't call this Supermoto, but it is definitely a sport bike. Isn't the 1390 their Supermoto? Or is this still considered in the Supermoto class? I'm not sure. I do know that it's considered sport because the insurance is higher on this than my BMW. Alright guy, you shouldn't be taking up both lanes. And you wonder why people don't like bicyclists. And I'm a bicyclist, guys. But I think there is just some degree you have to try to keep motorists from hating you even more, okay? So that guy didn't have to be in the left lane. He could have just stayed in the right lane with all the other buddies, you know? So if you hear me criticizing cyclists, it's just, like I said, I'm a former bicycle racer. I still ride bicycles. I think you just have to ride responsibility, just to not give cyclists a bad name. And, you know, like I said, people kind of hate us as it is already. Today I'm wearing just a regular outfit. Yeah, I'm not doing anything major today. Like I said, when I go out on the BMW for a nice long ride, yeah, I'll be fully kitted up and everything. Today, like I said, I was just trying to beat the heat, so I'm wearing actually a nice flowy shirt. I don't have the best of protection in, I'll just say that, other than the helmet. Alright everybody, let me make sure my camera is pointed up as much as possible. I'm going to have to try to remember to look up. So I'll try to, as we come across, I'm going to look up. Oh yeah, I can see it already. I wonder. No, DJI Action 4 with the Bella box. Because I don't know GoPro does UVC mode yet. So yeah, I used to be into GoPro, but after I started buying DJI, I quit buying GoPro. Everybody, you can see the sign. It actually looks really cool. I have to say that's a pretty nice sign. I kind of want to, I think I'm going to get in the cones there and actually get a video of it. Well, it's more about the live streaming aspect of it, and DJI has the UVC capability, you know, where you turn your camera into a webcam. So that's the biggest reason. Yeah, that's the biggest reason. Back when I used to live stream with a GoPro, you know, you had to use that micro HDMI cable, and it just, when you're trying to do bicycle live streams and stuff like that with micro HDMI, it's just so susceptible to jitters and vibrations and stuff. And so, granted, you get a nice, I think you get an overall better quality stream with HDMI cameras, but I don't know, I think there's a bit of a cost. So now that, you know, everybody's on the bandwagon of alright, I'm actually going to pull in these cones here, y'all, so look at that. That is so cool. So yeah, I wonder what this thing looks like at night. Hang on a sec, y'all. I'm gonna try to get a quick picture here. So I'm gonna lose chat for just a minute. Come on. All right. What is wrong? Why can't I get this on? There we go. Woo-wee, man, when you're sitting still, you could really feel the temperature going up. All right, everybody, I got the chat back. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, yep, absolutely. I use it for everything. I'm using them on my car, I use them on my bicycles. Use them on my bicycles, all my motorcycles. Well, we got the sign. Now I just need to catch it at night. I think it's supposed to look pretty cool at night. I've done the one on the west end plenty of times, but what I'd like to do is maybe do a live stream where I go end to end and we look at the two different signs. You know, they'll look at the one on the west side of Albuquerque versus this new one here on the east side of Albuquerque. Good old Wiener Schnitzel. Hey, easy, easy, easy. Man, I always hate approaching intersections when cars are turning left on you. think I had another follow. And I think I've actually had a few follows. Those of you that are I don't get alerts into my helmet for follows, but I think there was a couple of you today that gave me a follow. I appreciate that. No, we're in Albuquerque. See the sign right there? Welcome to Albuquerque. Maybe I should turn my overlays back on. Y'all want me to turn my location and map overlay back on? I turned it off yesterday when I did a bicycle live stream, but I could turn them back on. I would have to stop. Well, at least the wind is nice and cool still right now. So like I said, everybody, I don't plan to be out too long today. I definitely wanted to just get out early while it was cool. I had about a 2-hour window before the temperatures jumps up into the 90s. See if I can sneak a drink of water in here real quick. So y'all want to see the building where Microsoft started? Oh, I love e-bikes. Yeah, big fan of them. I mean, I've ridden everything from mountain bikes, single speeds, racing bikes. I've raced for several years, but I think it was right around 2020 I got my first e-bike, and it's yeah, it's great. I mean, in fact, the live stream I did yesterday with my wife, we were out on our e-bikes. Yeah, I think e-bikes are great. You know, as long as you ride them responsibly and everything, you know. Yeah, I think you definitely got to ride them responsible, you know. We have a local bike trail that they recently posted speed limits on, and I think you just got to respect that type of stuff, you know. So even if you're riding like a class 3 that's capable of 28, or, you know, everybody knows there's bikes that are faster than that, right? I think you just gotta not ride like a complete bozo, you know. Because all that e-bike really does is it just makes another contention for, as it is. We know certain people don't like bicyclists as it is, and then you could add a layer of e-bikes. Like we had a recent situation here where I don't remember if they died or just got severely injured, but they were on a horse. And come on, everybody knows in trail etiquette that if you see a rider on the horse, you stop, you slow down, and you wait for the rider to give you a cue on whether you're okay to go or not, Here? Oh gosh. We can get in sub-zeros. On average, 15, 10. But Albuquerque's kind of strange where, always it'll be cold in the morning and then warm up. Because you got to remember, we're high desert here. So I got to figure out how to get around this building here because I don't think you can get in the parking lot anymore. So let me think about my strategy here for just a sec, okay? I think you can go. These cops are setting these lights off here. Come on, y'all. Y'all can go. These transit cops are setting those lights off. They're like right on the sensors, and so that's why they're flashing. Thanks, City of Albuquerque. Ugh. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn right here. Yes.
Sorry.
Oh wow, I didn't realize there were homeless all in this area here. Wasn't expecting that.
I found this on the road.
Alright, Siri, you can turn yourself off. I don't need you on. Alright. This neighborhood has gotten a little more scarier than I remember it being. But anyways, my whole goal was to get to this point right here. Oh my gosh, and then we got an abandoned car over here. Wow. It's amazing how much this place has just changed over the years. Alright everybody, so how in the hell did they paint that in that window? Okay, I see the window's busted out. Okay, that makes sense. Well, you're looking at the building where Microsoft started. Yeah, this is where Bill Gates, in the basement of this building, started Microsoft. So they're supposed to be taking this building and the building on the other side of it and turning it into some condos or apartments, low-cost living apartments or something here in this area here soon. So we'll see how that project goes. let's get going because it is getting warm. I can feel the heat on my legs. Definitely feels much better when you're moving. That building too is abandoned, and they're supposed to be turning that into apartment, low-cost apartments as well. Give me every light now. I'm going to make a quick little stop right here. The reason I'm stopping here is because I think there's been quite a few live streams that I have stopped here in this area to highlight what was formerly Lindsay's Diner, where, where I've had several streams where I've either eaten there, to where it was then condemned and then the wall fell out into the sidewalk in the city street, to where it was partially taken down, and then now, as you can see, it's just completely gone. But, and I think I've heard somebody say that the building next to it is obviously going to have to come down. As you can see, it's structurally not sound. You can see a big crack in the front of the wall on the corner there where the two walls come together. So I imagine that building has got to come down too. But it is what it is. Muttley G, did you ever go to a drive-in movie theater in Albuquerque? Yes. Two different ones here. I think it was the Movie 8 theater, the Drive-In 8, and then there was one somewhere on the south side of Albuquerque. It was like a 2-screen or 3-screen theater. Yeah, but that was a long time ago. We're talking like late 70s, early 80s. I definitely did go to one back in the day. I remember I think the first movie that I recall seeing at a drive-in theater was The Gauntlet with Clint Eastwood. That was such a crazy movie for me as a young boy to experience. Yeah, The Gauntlet. Don't know why I remember that. I just remember it was such a shocking movie to go see, Other than that, I couldn't even tell you some of the other movies I saw at drive-in movie theaters, but that one stood out. I just never forget it, The Gauntlet. Smoke, man, that bus is kicking up a lot of dust. Garcia's. Man, I haven't eaten there in a long time. Well, let's make a quick stroll through Old Town, see if any of the lowriders or the Old Town Car Club are out. They usually are on Sundays. Welcome to Old Town, everybody. Should see some of the Old Town Car Club out here. They're usually out here early trying to get their parking spots around the plaza. And do we see any today? No. One. Wow. What happened to Old Town Car Club, man? They didn't get all their spots. They didn't get here early enough, I guess, huh? It's only one. Yeah. They just didn't get out here in time. Everybody, I think head to the end of Central, head back home through Coors. I haven't even had breakfast yet today, so I'm starting to get a little bit hungry. I would normally go stop somewhere for a breakfast burrito, but I don't know. I feel like I just need to go home and just have a nice little bowl of cereal, you know? Some granola. Can't seem to beat the red lights today. trying to set up this. You're talking about this live stream, this type of live stream? Gotcha. Okay. Well, let me stop and I'll give you a looky. Okay. Let me ask you, how far are you? Do you at least have like the BellaBox software set up? You got your BellaBox like set up? Yeah. No, I'm gonna stop and I'll stop somewhere. I think there's a park somewhere up here that I can stop at. All right, well, I'll try to give it to you as brief and as simple as I can. Now keep in mind, this is like only one of many ways that I live stream. So I have other ways that I live stream. It's pretty much all the same stuff. The difference is just whether I use the Starlink in conjunction with the other modems and stuff like that. But oh boy, yeah, you got a ways to go then. But let me stop and I'll show you what I got going on, okay? But if you got a cell phone, then you are probably going to want to run. Is this the road that the park is on? No, I don't mind stopping. I just don't remember if this is the street that the park is on or not. I don't think it is. I think it's further up. I'll show you what I got going on, okay? Now keep in mind, there's like several different ways you can do this. You know, if you are not using a camera and you're going to use an iPhone, you can use the Mobilin app, which I do use that on occasion, but it doesn't work well when you're doing like mobile type streams, like, you know, bicycle, motorcycle. No, I'm gonna stop. Too late. I'm stopping. I am stopping. So stick around. I think this park is right here. I'm gonna actually take this thing apart. Well, not take it apart, but I'm gonna pull it apart and show you what I got going on here. Let's see here. Let's see if I can even find a place to park. Alright, there's a shady spot right here. There's a bench. Oh. Let me take these phones. And then I'm gonna head over to that bench over there, okay? Oh, come on.
Amazing view.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Well, I was hoping this bench would be in the shade, but it's not. But hang on a sec. I gotta take the camera off the helmet and put you all back on the chest mount. Alright, let's see here. Let's just move over here. Grass. How about that? Move into the grass. I guess I could have done this over there. Alright. Here's the two phones that I use. So I have two phones because one of them is doing YouTube for me, and then this one is doing the text-to-speech Bluetooth into the helmet. Okay. As you can see here, this is where the camera was mounted prior to me stopping. Okay. So right now you're on a chest mount, which I'll show you that here in a sec. But this is where the camera was mounted the whole time we've been doing this motorcycle stream. Okay.
Jade Cryptic said, "Gosh, yeah."
Alright, now let me take this off. Bear with me just a sec.
Jade Cryptic said, "Mic is slightly hard to hear."
It's because I left the mic in the helmet. So here we go. So here's the microphone. So the microphone sits like right inside here.
Jade Cryptic said, "Haha."
See there's a little magnetic strip right there where the microphone sits. Okay, so anyways, we take the microphone and put the microphone right there for now. Bear with me, I gotta get this off here.
Jade Cryptic said, "You're using DJ?"
DJI, yep. Oh, come on, where can I get this off?
Jade Cryptic said, "See, I have Rode mics. Can those be used instead?"
Well, you can, but not with this setup. You know, because I'm using a DJI mic, and we're doing UVC mode. Okay, so here's the backpack. Okay, so here's the USB cable, USB-C cable that's coming into the side of the camera here. Okay, so you can use Rode mic, but you're going to have to do different setups. So if you want simple, you know, then it's kind of got to be this method here. Okay, so here's the backpack. Okay, this is the grid lock that I have everything on. Let me pull it all out. Oh, a little hard to pull out. So here's the grid lock that everything
Jade
is
Cryptic
on.
said, "You have a nice setup, but wires and everything move."
So here's the power bank. Okay, this is all strapped down and everything here is to prevent like cable movement and everything. I have two Wi-Fi dongles on the Bella box. Okay, so two Wi-Fi dongles, and then this is where the camera cable is going in, right inside there. Okay, so what's happening with these two Wi-Fi dongles, I have two
Jade Cryptic
hotspots.
said, "That's a lot of stuff."
So here's a hotspot on this side. So one of them is connected to that one, and then I have a hotspot on this side. So I'm using two modems today, and so those two Wi-Fi dongles on that are essentially connected to these two here, and that is essentially the setup. This is probably my most lightweight setup of all the setups. And then,
Jade Cryptic said, "Dang."
so I don't know if you can see this. Hold on, the microphone fell off. So this is the other mount where this camera gets attached to when I don't have you all on the helmet.
Jabe Cryptic said, "You did a great job and it all looks great."
So yeah, so I could just swing this over one shoulder, and then the way this here is positioned, it literally just falls like right in the middle of my chest. And I give you just perfect, pretty much chest mounted center POV on there. So anyways, let me buckle this back up.
Jabe Cryptic said, "I'm kinda amazed it can't be as simple as DJI camera GoPro transmits to app that broadcasts all channels correctly."
Yeah, I used to use GoPro a couple of years ago, but I stopped using GoPro when
Jabe Cryptic said there are 500 things and modems and wires, and that's a lot for simple riding streams.
Yeah, this is, like I said, this is by far my most simple setup. I can take this one and travel, do bike rides with it. I can walk around with it. I could use a longer cable and even carry a tripod and hold the camera and everything. So, in any case, let me get you all mounted back on there. Got the camera here. So hopefully that helped. Let me pick up
Jabe Cryptic said, "Great mobile setup."
Alright, let's get back on the bike and get out of here. Look at that view.
Jabe Cryptic said, "It did a lot. Thank you for the information."
Alright, let's
Jabe Cryptic said, "And I followed. I'd love to continue watching your vids."
heck yeah, head on over to YouTube. I'm also live streaming.
Jabe Cryptic said, "This is a great day for rides and view for you."
Yeah, it has been a really nice, cool Sunday morning, but it's going to be warming up here pretty soon. So. Hello, thanks.
Jabe Cryptic said, "I'm a gamer, but my audience has asked me to stream my rides."
Oh yeah.
Jabe Cryptic said, "And all I've done so far are some cheapy Instagram vids."
Okay, let me I'm gonna put the microphone out here for now, and then
Jabe Cryptic said, "You shall have a Twitch sticker on your bike with your name as you ride."
all right, let me get you all mounted back on the helmet. I'm so glad this bike is so light.
Jabe Cryptic said, "I have a much bigger bike too." Jabe Cryptic said, "So that's hard to move around as easily as that, haha." Hello.
All right, you all are back in my helmet. Not that I'm aware of. I haven't been able to figure that part out. It'd be nice. Yeah, you're definitely. So I'm using the real-time IRL app, Bluetooth to my helmet. Yeah, it'd be nice to use the microphone, but I'm actually kind of glad that it works this way. Like I said, I have Rode mics, I have DJI mics. I even have a really nice generic set of mics that. Yeah, that's what I'm using it on right now. Where is the divide on this road? Well, there is one that's just for Android, but the one I'm using, real-time IRL, sorry, I was having to pay attention to traffic there for a sec. Real-time IRL is for iPhone. I mean, my two phones are iPhones. Yeah, there's two of them, real-time IRL and real-time chat, I think is the one I'm using. Okay, just had to pull on that. Yep, no, it's all good. All right, here's the other Route 66 sign, y'all. The one, remember we saw the one all the way out on the east side of Albuquerque, and here's the one on the west side. I'm not sure which one I like better. I think I like the new one. Like TikTok app? I don't think so. Trying to remember. I want to say it's like a black square with a blue circle, like a blue R in it, but I could be wrong. I'd have to stop and look at it again. I'm pretty sure it's called real-time IRL. So there's two of them. There's real-time IRL, which is the one that's doing the tracking, and then there's real-time chat, which is doing the actual chat. Yeah, so there's two of them. There's two that I use. So real-time IRL is the one that I have that's actually tracking my location, speed, temperature, weather, all that right now. And then the real-time chat are both going together. Great, another diesel truck. Ugh. I have a OBS server at my house. So I'm sending the Bella Box, everything from Bella Box directly to my OBS server at home. I have not yet stepped into investing into I've not stepped into like actually renting an IRL server yet, which I'm thinking about it now that I'm starting to do a lot more of these motorcycle live streams. I'm thinking about stepping into an actual leased IRL server. I mean, the one that I have at home has served me for 3 years and it does the job. You know, occasionally have issues where there was one time where I was on a live stream and the power went out at my house. Yeah, well, there are other, I mean, you can, I would say if you want to do it on the cheapest, do the Moblin app. Do the Moblin app, and I think you can stream directly to alrighty, take it easy. That works. There's a lot of people that are doing it that way. I've done it, I've used it, it works. I just don't like it for all situations. All right, everybody, we are headed home. So we got a little ways till we go, but we pretty much did a full circle around the city. I came this way almost intentionally because there's a certain point where, hang on, this is that diesel I don't want to be next to. As you ride along and drop down, there's a certain point where another place where you just overlook the city, and it's just an amazing view. So I wanted to come capture that before I head home. Raising Cane's, that's where they put it, huh? Guess I'm gonna have to go give it a try, see if it's everything everybody says it's supposed to be. Boy, yeah, the temperature is definitely going up. Definitely feel it now. As soon as you're sitting still, you can feel that heat. So it is definitely time to get home. This is that section I like right here. Just such a amazing view right here. I don't know why I always like this particular shot right here. Oh. Yeah, it is getting warm. Too warm. Time to get home. See somebody else in the chat. You have to give me a moment to be able to read that in the YouTube chat. Looked like it was Muttley G. I see you there in the YouTube chat. You're just gonna have to give me a moment to be able to read that. It's always so green through here, even though the river is so low. Like there is practically no water in the Rio Grande right now. I'll try to turn my head so you all can see, but I'm sure you all probably won't be able to see. Geez, there is no water flowing through there. Wow. Calm down, everybody. Why is everybody speeding through here? There we go, gondola is standing up. Hopefully you all saw that here, because I can't see what. Wow. Either one of the modems is overheating or the battery's getting low. So I don't normally get a lot of low bit rate through this area here. But it's all good. We're getting ready to head home and finish the stream up. Getting ready to head home. Call it a day. So here, I'm going to stop somewhere up here, shut the stream down, and I'll read that last YouTube chat. Shit, we'll just go. I know it's not a usual place that I shut streams down, but yep, it was the first shady spot that I saw. So let's see here. All right, was Muttley G, do you have any classic bicycles? There are people that collect old school racing bikes, and MTB, I guess some are really valuable to collect. Man, you know, I was at one point thinking about collecting some. And the one that I was going to start with, I was hoping to get my hands on my best friend who passed away, unfortunately, a few years, several years ago now. He was my best friend going through high school. We rode bikes together, we raced bicycles together, and he had Eddie Merckx. Really nice Eddie Merckx, you know, it was white with the blue fade on the, you know, each corner of the triangle, the headset, the seat post was, you know, that sky blue, the bottom bracket sky blue, and you had all the white, and then the chrome, you know, typical road bike back in the, you know, late 80s, you know, the chrome And I was going to try to get a hold of his wife. We were good friends for so long, and I was going to start with trying to get my hands on that bike because I knew she held on to it for a long time, not for any kind of sentimental value or anything like that. She just had it, and if I could have got my hands on that bike, I probably would have got started on a vintage bike collection, but it didn't happen. So yeah, I was really hoping to get my hands on there, but just things happen in her life that she just kind of wanted nothing to do with her entire past, you know. It was just so much stuff that had gone on in her life. Yeah, it was a pretty sad situation too on how my buddy left this earth, you know. But anyways, and then I was hoping also, I don't know how I would have done it, but hoping I can somehow get my hands on my old Chanelli. That would have been another one to have in my collection. But again, those are all things that just never happen. Anyways, everybody, that's going to do it for me. So thanks again for all those that came around the chat. Oh, had another follow, QFR1. Man, quite a few follows today. I appreciate all the follows today. Let's see if we can find somebody to raid out too. So I'm going to switch over to Twitch so I don't have any chat for a moment. Let's see here. Let me pull up my tools here. And let's see who is live streaming. Well, quite a few people I'm following are live streaming right now. Let's see here. So we might either send you all out to GPU, Dad Life, or Jennifer. Looks like he's having some connection issues, but we're going to try sending you out that way.